Good morning. I was going to send an email out. I'm better at writing than I am this. I've never even done a video like this, but it was going to be too damn long. So I thought I'd try this. I need your help. There's no other way to say it. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory. For those that don't know, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, there was a family on Fox 4 News, and blended family is one of those problem solver deals. And um, they had always kind of bumped along the bottom. By the way, their names are the Harvey family. And always bumped along the bottom, making it, but not really ever succeeding or thriving, but doing the best they could. And a blended family. She had two kids. He had two kids. Their partners left, aren't around. And then they got married and had three more. So all of a sudden, you've got seven kiddos. And then she was in nursing school, got cancer, had to drop out of nursing school, and she's cancer free now. But the chemo messed her up. She's got a thing called lymphedema, which, for anybody knows, is a challenge. So they're dealing with that, doing the best they can. But this house they were living in was horrible. And for those that don't remember, in Kansas City, it was pretty cold last winter, and there's a video of seven kids huddled around a space heater because the heater had broken and the landlord wasn't interested in fixing a house for people who couldn't afford to pay the rent anyway. So my friend Joe Heidrich and Lindsay Heidrich, they're amazing people. They saw him. They called Fox 4 News and started to help. And then during that time, Joe asked me if I'd be willing to help, because he quickly found how hard it was for people who are willing to take in a family that needs help. So in 1 week's time, through our church, through our friends, through my basketball group, through my buddies, through all kinds of networks, we found them a place to live. We completely furnished their home. We got them a car and raised them some money. And all of that was great. And as you can imagine, it felt really good. But what we didn't know is how challenging life really is when you're on the edge of poverty or when you're in poverty. The truth is that we thought we were closing a chapter and we had them back on their feet. And we've learned through this year that we haven't, because one of the things when we found them a place to live, it was in my friend Chase's place, his apartment. We agreed to pay the difference. We, meaning my partner, Jen Malone, who's an amazing woman, by the way. She's my partner at work at BMG Advisors. And so we decided that whatever they couldn't afford in rent, we were going to pay the difference. And we've been doing that for about a year and a half. But what we didn't know was how much this family relied on the bus route. And when we moved them to Grandview, Missouri, that there's no bus line down there. And what else we didn't know, and this is the part I'm going to be truthful with you, is they have what I call poor people tickets. And poor people tickets, for those that don't know, are when you get pulled over and you don't have insurance because you couldn't afford insurance, and then you get a ticket for that, and then you can't afford to pay the ticket because you couldn't afford to pay the insurance in the first place, and then you have a warrant out for your arrest. And then you're trying to get to work, but you're scared to death to drive to work, because if you get pulled over, the cops are going to take you to jail, and then you really can't work. And then you're stuck with trying to do the best you can and not able to make it work. This whole thing has been incredibly humbling, incredibly stressful. But what I know is I'm not giving up on these kids. They're good kids. They're good parents. They're just trying their best. And it's no doubt it's been a struggle that sometimes I can't even understand, because things that make sense to maybe you and me, they don't have those skills, or they got too much going on that they haven't been able to kind of overcome. So one of the things I've learned is they both have warrants out for their arrest, and not for criminal things, not for drugs or things like that. They're for poor people tickets. There's no other way to say it, for not having insurance and driving without insurance and stuff like that, failing to show up at court. And so it just snowballs into a mess. And bottom line is, they got behind because of these challenges. They got behind because Dad was having trouble getting to work in Kansas City. And then it's just snowballing and getting harder and harder. So my partner, Jen, and I decided that instead of paying the difference in rent every month, we do it a little bit differently. Instead of writing a check for rent, we decided that we would buy them a home. And I'm excited to tell you that today, Friday the 13th, which seems a little weird for a day to be buying a home, is the day we closed on their new home. And we're going to let them live here. They're going to pay us what they can afford, and we're not going to charge them market rates, but we're going to give them a place. And we believe that this is an opportunity to help get them on their feet, and they can have some stability in their lives where they're not worried about necessarily making rent. Plus, we see it as a business thing where we've got an asset. Don't think this asset's going to go down. My buddy Dylan Crandall helped me find this house. And of course, Joe Heidrich was involved in it too. So it's a pretty cool thing. So speaking of that, let's go see it. It's pink. But it's cool. I'm excited about it. It's clean. It's got plenty of bathrooms, plenty of space, and a yard for the kids to play. So yeah, we're excited about this. But the truth is, we're not done. We've got other challenges ahead of us, and one of those challenges is next finding employment back in the city. And my good friends at Kansas City Area Transportation Authority, they're interested in hiring them, which is awesome because they pay very, very well, $17 an hour. If I can do that for both of them, then that's a huge opportunity. They want to work, but when you have warrants out for your arrest for not having a driver's license or not having insurance, then you got to get that stuff taken care of before you can get back into the system, which is where I could use your help. For those of you who know the Jackson County prosecutor, she's a friend of mine. Her name is Jean. Jean's been amazing in helping. She's done the research and told me exactly what we need to do. We have to show up in court. I have all those instructions, but we're going to need some funds to pay the fines that have accumulated for this poor family. I also have one of the best defense attorneys in town. His name is Chris Engels. He's incredible. He's a friend of mine, and he has agreed to represent them in court at no charge pro bono, with the caveat that we show up with all the money that they need to wipe this out in one visit to the courthouse. And that's where I'm hoping that you'll come in. It's a lot of money to them. It's insurmountable to them. I'm hoping and praying that to us, it's something we can come together. I know you all give already. I know you give a lot. We need about $2,500 for court costs. And I'm asking if you would be willing to help. I don't like asking, but I guess you can always say no or just ignore me. But if you're interested, you probably know how to get a hold of me. You can email me at adamholly180@gmail. Phone number, I'm not going to get my phone number on here. You probably have it already. You can Facebook me and let me know if you're willing to help. You can mail me a check. I'm not really good at technology, but we've got Venmo too. Or you can give to a charity and have the charity direct it, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But not only that, that's just to get them back to even. Then we've got ongoing expenses, and obviously you all know that having a little bit of savings is an important thing. We've got a lawn to mow. We're going to need a lawnmower. We're going to need a refrigerator. We're going to need stuff like that. They don't need food. They don't need housing, because we got that done. And they don't need clothes, but they need a little bit of a start. I also want to say, before I end this, that I can't guarantee that this is going to work. I can't guarantee that we're going to write a little bit of checks and this family will be thriving all of a sudden, because so far that hasn't happened. But what I can tell you is all of these kids are awesome. They're polite, they're kind, they're working hard, they're in extracurricular activities, and the parents are doing their best. And they're good human beings too. They don't have some of the same things. They haven't been given some of the same things that we've been given throughout our lives. And frankly, I don't even know if it's going to work. But I believe that if we can come together as a community, there are 7 kiddos that maybe, just maybe, we can reverse the trend of multi-generational poverty. So, if you're willing to chip in a little bit, you know what I need. And I hope to hear from you. Thank you.